Welcome. English First Language Part 2, Pearls of Literature, Prose 8, The Women on Platform 8, 8th Standard 2024-2025, Karnataka State Board Syllabus, Part 1, Pre-Reading Task 1. Imagine you came across a stranger while traveling on a train or a bus. What would your reaction be when the stranger speaks to you? Is it advisable to speak to strangers? In groups of four, discuss these questions and then have a classroom discussion. Second main, the woman on platform 8 is a story of boy who had an encounter with a woman on platform 8. As you read the story, make a note of the people he come across and his feelings for them. 1. It was very second year at boarding school and I was sitting on platform number 8 at Ambala station waiting for northbound train. I think I was about 12 at that time. My parents considered me old enough to travel alone, and I had arrived by bus at Ambala early in the evening. Now there was a wait till midnight before my train arrived. Most of the time I had been pacing up and down the platform, browsing at bookstall or feeding broken biscuits to stray dogs. Trains came and went, and the platform would be quiet for a while, and then when a train arrived, it would be an inferno of heaving, shouting, agitated human bodies. As the carriage doors opened, a tide of people would sweep down upon the nervous little ticket collector at the gate. And every time this happened, I would be caught in the rush and swept outside the station. Now, tired of this game and of ambling about the platform, I sat down on my suitcase and gazed dismally across the railway tracks. 2. Are you all alone, my son? Asked a soft voice close behind me. I looked up and saw a woman standing near me. She was leaning over, and I saw a pale face and dark, kind eyes. She wore no jewels and was dressed very simply in the white sari. 3. Yes, I'm going to school, I said, and stood up respectfully. She seemed poor, but there was a dignity about her that commanded respect. 4. I have been watching you for some time, she said. Didn't your parents come to see you off? 5th. I don't live here, I said. I had to change trains. Anyway, I can travel alone. 6. I'm sure you can, she said, and I liked her for saying that. And I also liked her for simplicity of her dress and for her deep, soft voice and serenity of her face. 7. Tell me, what is your name? She asked. 8. Arun, I said. 9. And how long do you have to wait for your train? 10. About an hour, I think. It comes at 12 o'clock. 11. Then come with me and have something to eat. Well, I was going to refuse out of shyness and suspicion, but she took me by the hand and then felt it would be silly to pull my hand away. She told the coolie to look after my suitcase and then she led me away down the platform. Her hand was gentle and she held mine, neither too firmly nor too lightly. I looked up at her again. She was not young and she was not old. 13. She took me into the station dining room, ordered samosas, jalebi, and tea, and at once I began to awe and take a new interest in this kind woman. A strange encounter had little effect on my appetite. I was a hungry schoolboy and I ate as much as I could in as a polite a manner as possible. She took obvious pleasure in watching me eat, and this cemented our relation as friendship for under the influence of the tea and sweets. I began to talk quite freely, and told her about my school, my friends, my likes and dislikes. She questioned me quietly for some time and but preferred listening. She drew me out very well, and I had soon forgotten that we were strangers. But she did not ask me about my family or where I lived, and I did not ask her where she lived. I accepted her for what she had been to me, quite kind and gentle woman who gave sweets to a lonely boy on a railway platform. 14. We walked together in a silence until we reached the place where I had left my suitcase. One of my school fellows, Satish, a boy of about my age, had turned up with his mother. 15. Hello, Arun, he called. The train coming in late as usual. Did you know we have a new headmaster this year? 16. We shook hands and then he turned to his mother and said, "This is Arun, mother. This is one of my friends and best baller in the class." 17. I'm glad to know that, said his mother and large imposing woman who wore spectacles. She looked at the woman who held my hand and said, "And I suppose you are Arun's mother." 18. I opened my mouth to make some explanation, but before I could say anything, the woman replied, "Yes, I am Arun's mother." 19. I was unable to speak a word. I looked quickly up at the woman, but she did not appear to be at all embarrassed and was smiling at Satish's mother. 20. Satish's mother said, "It's such a nuisance having to wait for train right in the middle of the night. But one can't let the child wait here alone. Anything can happen to a boy at a big station like this, and there are so many suspicious characters hanging around. These days, one has to be very careful of strangers." 21. Arun can travel alone though, said the woman beside me, and somehow I felt grateful to her for saying that. I had already forgiven her for lying, and besides, I had taken an instinctive dislike for Satish's mother. 22. Well, be very careful, Arun, said Satish's mother, looking sternly at me through her spectacles. Be very careful when your mother is not with you, and never talk to strangers. 23. I looked from Satish's mother to the woman who had given me tea and sweets and then back at Satish's mother. 24. I like strangers, I said. 25th. Satish's mother definitely staggered a little as obviously she was not used to being contradicted by small boys. 26. There you are. You see, if you don't watch over them all the time, they will walk straight into trouble. Always listen to what your mother tells you, she said, wagging a fat little finger at me, and never talk to strangers. 27. I glared resentfully at her and moved closer to the woman who had befriended me. Satish was standing behind his mother, grinning at me and delighting in my clash with his mother. Apparently, he was on my side. 28. The station bell clanged, and the people who had till now been squatting resignedly on the platform began bustling about. 29. Here it comes, shouted Satish, as the engine whistle creaked and the front lights sprayed over the rails. 30. The train moved slowly into the station, the engine hissing and sending out waves of steam as it came to a stop. Satish jumped on the footboard of a lighted compartment and shouted, "Come on, Arun, this one's empty." And I picked up my suitcase and made a dash for the open door. 31. We placed ourselves at the open windows, and two women stood outside on the platform, talking up to us. Satish's mother did most of the talking. 32. Now, don't jump on and off moving trains as you did just now, she said, and don't stick your heads out of windows and don't eat any rubbish on the way. 33. She allowed me to share the benefit of her advice as she probably didn't think my mother a very capable person. She handed Satish a bag of fruits, a cricket bat, and a big box of chocolates and told him to share the food with me. And then she stood back from the window to watch how my mother behaved. 34. I was smarting under the patronizing tone of Satish's mother, who obviously thought mine a very poor family, and I did not intend giving the other women away. I let her take my hand in hers, but I could think of nothing to say. I was conscious of Satish's mother, staring at us with hard, beady eyes, and I found myself hating her with a firm, unreasoning hate. The guard walked up the platform, blowing his whistle for the train to leave. I looked straight into the eyes of the woman who held my hand, and she smiled in a gentle, understanding way. I leaned out of the window and put my lips to her cheeks and kissed her. 35. The carriage jolted forward, and she drew her hand away. 36. Goodbye, mother, said Satish as the train began to move slowly out of the station. Satish and his mother waved to each other. 37. Goodbye, I said to other women. Goodbye, mother. 38. I didn't wave or shout, but I sat still in front of the window, gazing at a woman on the platform. Satish's mother was talking to her, but she didn't appear to be listening. She was looking at me as the train took me away. She stood there on the busy platform, pale, sweet woman in white, and I watched her until she was lost in the milling crowd. Please like, share, subscribe, and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye bye.